Hey all, welcome to my channel. I'm gonna probably say something maybe controversial, maybe not controversial, but sort of joking, but not joking in a ways. And the last time I've gone in this nature, YouTube flagged me. They don't know how to take a joke. But in reality, is more so to the point where like it comes down to this: is when Trump says something, it seems like more so all of his supporters and his campaign, etc., and his inner circle decide to say, well, in reality, even though he said this, he really meant this. And it's kind of funny at that point because, like, it reminds me of a case where, like, I've never experienced, had grandparents of my own. Oh, I've had grandparents, but I never met them because they passed away before I was born. But more so to the point of, like, you've had all these silly old men or silly old grandfathers where they would say something so outrageous because they were so old. They're like, oh, okay, it's just grandpa, basically, whatever it may be. And Trump, being a grandfather, of course, saying these things, it's like one of those things where, like, the rest of America, specifically MAGA, it's like, oh, he's just a 76-year-old man saying the things, but we know he really means this. To the point where, like, if that's the case, we need Google to come up with a translator or someone to come up with a Trump translator, basically, for all Trumpisms. Put it that way. It's like we need a translator for all the Trumpisms that are said out there, where whenever he goes off script, we have no idea what he means. And like people around it basically try to, essentially translate what he meant to say. And I'm like, okay, this is new. This is interesting. I mean, if you take a look at it, basically, like when the discussion he said in the North America Black Journalist Conference, everyone, even the black community that supports Trump at that point, parts of the black community, more so the black Republicans or black MAGA Republicans, were basically saying, like, well, no, hold on. He was saying in reference to blah, to all these newspapers, etc., and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, similar to the point where, like, even when Trump put out, and I don't know if it was a tweet, social, whatever it is basically says like, oh, it was AI generated when Kamala Harris and Lance Walls basically were coming down the whatever Air Force Two, I guess, when in Michigan, and if you look at the reflection of the jet engine, there's no people there. But in reality, and there's like, oh well, I don't see. There's so many phones out there. Where are all the postings? And then people slowly start posting. I was like, hey, boom, and Trump was saying it's all AI generated. It's more so to the point of, like, does he really understand that? It's one of those things where, like, I'm realizing that it's funny to the point where, I mean, I don't want to say it's funny. It's not funny, ha ha funny, but it's just funny to the point where, like, we're starting to experience the norm of people saying so many outrageous things. Like, I was like, whatever. He's not meaning it. While some people do believe it. I mean, honestly, it's like I probably could, I mean, honestly, I could probably start a rumor out there about whatever it may be, and it might catch wind, catch on fire, but I don't know. That's me personally. But in any case, it's that aspect when I'm realizing that this day and age with social media and even YouTube for that matter, you could almost say whatever you can, and like YouTube can try to like debunk it or like say, hey, you got to strike because it's false rumors. But in reality, is it could be true, and YouTube's not going to take it back because they're still going to keep it as a strike to you. Let's. It's one of those things where like some things could be said out there that could be, like you was like, oh, that's completely false. It's not. It's bogus. But in reality, some time passes on, and then you realize, and then it comes out the person said was true on YouTube, but YouTube basically flagged them for it, and they're not going to remove that flag. They're just going to say, oh, it's there, and that's it. And you know what? It's a case where like I'm waiting for that one flag that YouTube has done to me on this channel. I'm waiting for it. Now, it was granted it was a joke, and they don't know. Apparently, YouTube doesn't know how to take a joke, being or more so being me being sarcastic. They don't know how to be sarcastic. But if it turns out to be true, what I said in my prior live actually, it'd be really funny if it turned out to be true. I mean, who knows if it is? If it isn't, again, I was just being sarcastic. It's a case where, like, even with Kamala Harris, she can be sarcastic. The question is like, it's only a matter of time before Walls basically decides to go that route of what Trump is saying, and basically making, I don't want to say make up stuff, but he could derive stuff based on like bits and pieces, and then formulates his own thing at that point. And then people are like, oh, he's just an old man, 60-year-old man. He doesn't know, like he doesn't know what he's saying and such. And then people are accepted basically. I mean, honestly, Walls being 60 years old, I'm like, yeah, he does look a little bit older. I'm like, damn. But being it, let's be honest, being an educator does age you very quickly. Being an educator does age you quickly. And the similarity when you go into politics, you age very quickly. Like, let's look at Obama. When he started, even Clinton, when they both started at the age of 42, 44, they aged very quickly by the end of their terms. They look much older than they normally should have been. I mean, like, let's be honest. The phrase black don't crack, Obama, after the end of his presidency, it cracked. It cracked. So, I mean, I'm joking about that. Again, that's a joke. That's a joke. But it's still kind of funny. Like, the man did age. He's like, the man had gray hair. I'm like, damn. Obama has that much gray hair. I'm like, whoa. Anyways, um, but in any case, um, it's just funny, like seeing all these Trumpisms at that point. And I think that's what we should be calling them now. I mean, they're calling them Trumpisms now. If Harris becomes president, what do we call her things? Harrisisms? Because that doesn't work. Harrisisms sounds a little bit more like harassment, so I don't know if that works. So I'm kind of curious how we go about that and how is that's going to be said. I don't know what her sayings would be come out as. I mean, it would be funny knowing full well people are going to just make up. I'm just waiting for the comedians to jump in at that point and like come out with whatever they want to come out with, or the news for that matter. But don't get me started on the news, honestly. But in any case, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about my uh, observations per se? To the point, like, as Trump goes with some of his Trumpisms that's off script, everyone still comes around and comes in and basically translate to what he meant to say from that aspect. Let me know your thoughts on that. You're welcome to leave a comment in the comment section. I do read all my comments and I do respond to them. If you like my video, like my channel, like my content, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you do like this video, you're welcome to like it. If you don't like it, you're welcome to dislike it as well, to hit the thumbs down. I focus more on whatever, with all the likes that I get. And it's looking more and more like to the point of like all the likes I'm starting to see is mostly focused on those videos of Formula One. So I might talk more Formula One than anything else. But you're welcome if you want me to hear a little bit more. Now, I should say one thing is I'm not a person that likes to talk politics, but every now and then it's one of those things where it's just too good of material not to pass up on. But in any case, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.